Welcome to Conversations, Cocktails, and Connections.
Thank you. Welcome to you too.
I'm Emily Reeves.
I'm Amy Hester.
And today we are going to make a sidecar.
I'm very intrigued by this cocktail.
I am too. Okay, so I've never had a sidecar either. But one of our dear friends, Deborah Reed, who will appreciate, because I know she listens to our podcast, she's a fan of the sidecar, and my husband tells a story about when he owned a restaurant and she would come up to the bar, she would always order a sidecar. So every time I mention a sidecar, he says, oh, Deborah Reed's going to be so excited because it's a sidecar. So I did look up some information about the sidecar, and it's a prohibition drink.
Is it?
Yes, because they would use like the juice and the sugar to help mask some of the like flavors of the
This very strong,
like
strong
moonshine type situation. And then it was named a sidecar because the first person that ordered it rode around in one of those little motorcycle sidecars, and he wanted to warm up, and so the bartender invented the drink. Anyway.
Those are the cutest motorcycles.
I know.
Especially when you see photos with somebody actually having a dog in it.
I was going to say a dog. Yeah.
You know.
A dog in it would be super cute.
What's in it?
So it has cognac, it has an orange liqueur, it has lemon juice, and then it's served in a coupe glass with a sugar-rimmed...
Ooh.
Sugar rim. So
I will tell you, cognac kind of scares me. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that I've ever had it.
It's just because I've not ever had it, and I feel like it's just this old man drink.
Yeah.
Like an old man liquor. Like, again, we've had a couple that I felt the same way. Like the Manhattan.
Yeah.
Kind of felt that way.
But it was good.
It was so good.
Yeah.
Everything I feel like that we've had.
For the most part.
Besides the White Russian. For me.
Yeah, I mean, there's some that I wouldn't make again, but for the most part, I've been like pleasantly surprised. Because why would somebody put all of these things together if they weren't going to be good anyway?
Yeah.
So when I went to the liquor store to buy the cognac, I didn't even know what brands there were. Of course, I didn't look anything up before I went in. I just went in. I was like, hey I need some cognac. And they're like, we have this. And I was like, I said cognac, and they said Hennessy. That's what we have. And I was like, great, let's take it. So, are you ready to mix it up?
Yeah, can I see the bottle really quick?
Yes.
I mean, first time holding a Hennessy bottle. Cognac. I mean,
it's the first time for everything.
Yeah. Prohibition is very interesting. I mean, did you ever watch, have you watched some of the shows that are based during, I think, is Peaky Blinders kind of
maybe
made in that?
I don't know. I didn't. Matthew watched that. I didn't watch it.
Boardwalk Empire, I think, maybe.
Okay, I haven't watched that.
I could be really pulling this out of my ass. I mean, I'm not. I feel like
welcome to our podcast.
Yes.
We don't look stuff up before we talk.
I really do feel like that it is, but I don't know. Shit.
Okay. Continue. Okay, so
I do love the coupe glass, though. I will say.
I know. So I'm gonna put you in charge of putting the sugar on the rim.
So do we have a
this is a plate of sugar.
I know, but do we have something wet to...
You do that with the lemons.
Okay.
So the lemons are already... So you basically rub the lemon around, and then you dip that. And so you're in charge of that.
So I've worked in restaurants before where, we have to rim the margarita glass. So you would stick it on something and then do this. Which now when I think about it, it's probably not very sanitary.
It's kind of gross.
Ew. I just thought of that. Ugh. This is better.
Okay, so a classic sidecar, the recipe is 2 ounces of cognac, 3/4 ounces of lemon juice, and 3/4 ounces of orange liqueur, and we're going to be using the Cointreau for that. And you put it in a shaker filled with ice and shake it up, then strain it into the glass. So I'm going to start by putting some ice in our shaker. And
yeah. I don't even know if I've ever heard of this drink. So I'm very excited to try. Now, Cointreau is also one of those that I've had with a margarita before.
Yes.
You can use Cointreau to make a margarita.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Which we have not made a margarita yet on the show. And that's pretty easy. I think that, I'll say it's easy, but it's a more common cocktail.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of different ways that you can make a margarita. when I go to a restaurant, I typically like a frozen margarita, but I don't really order that anymore because there's so many places that use these terrible premixes that are so sweet. And you can't even cut the sweetness with extra tequila, I don't feel.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I've kind of gotten spoiled on like fresh squeezed
like
margaritas.
Yeah. Maybe I'm just getting older.
Well, there's that.
Actually, I did not say that.
I was going to say, I can't believe you just said that. Usually you're on me about like saying stuff about being older.
But you start drinking a frozen drink when you're young, like under 21. I have a strawberry margarita, but you never said that. She's allergic to strawberries. But I love a good margarita.
Oh, this is already going to be good. Look at how it's icing up.
Man, if you watched our episode with the egg whites cocktail, that was really good. Like
the cocktail,
itself was so good, but it was so messy.
It was so messy. Oh my gosh.
It was so messy. This looks good. Deborah will be very proud of us.
I know.
It's a very pretty color of like, I would say like a deep pineapple juice.
Mm-hmm. There is no pineapple juice in it.
Because Emily is allergic to that as well. All good fruit.
Apparently high maintenance. All right.
No.
All right. Well, I mean, that was pretty easy.
Yeah.
You ready to try it? Cheers. All right. Here we go.
It's good.
It is good. The sugar actually adds a lot to it.
Yeah. I might be stuck to my lip gloss.
I know. I can feel the sugar like stuck to my lips for sure.
It is good. I feel.
I like it.
Yeah, I don't think that you would just like down it or anything.
It's a good sipper.
It's a good sipper for sure. But I do like the sugar on the rim.
Yeah, I do too.
I almost want to like sprinkle more in there.
Well, you can.
Yeah.
All right.
Just
well,
a spoonful of sugar.
Let's clean up and talk.
Okay.
All
let's
right.
do.
And we're back.
Okay. This cocktail's really good.
It
the
is
Sidecar. Well, I had an idea that since we both have never had cognac, that we should
try
it. But do you think we should try it after we finish or do it now?
I think we should do it now so that we have something to like balance it out in case.
I mean, again, I get really nervous trying alcohols straight, but.
Well, I mean, it's not like you have to shoot it. I mean,
I
we just put it in shot glasses to sip from.
It smells really strong. So do people just drink this, you think? Like
I think so,
I would
yeah.
like a glass of Hennessy, please. It's not terrible.
It's not. It's like it doesn't burn as much as like a whiskey or a bourbon does, you know.
Would you get? I wonder how you would.
It's got like a more like smoother taste.
I wonder if you would put it on ice or.
It feels like it needs ice.
Yeah, it's kind of hot. But it's not terrible. Like I think it would be. I wonder if you would garnish it with maybe a lemon.
Yeah, or an orange.
Or an orange.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Cheers.
Huh? Hennessy.
And we keep thinking.
We're thinking of the song. Is
Tennessee?
It Tennessee? Yeah. Who sings
Tennessee? That? It was from. Oh God! If you hadn't said it, I would totally.
It's not the Fugees, is it?
No, it's not the Fugees. It's
the Fugees.
Gosh, damn it! It's gonna come. It'll come to me at some point.
Okay. We should add that song in turn. Tennessee. Anyway, well, so what have you been doing this week? I know you're busy with work.
Well, so are you. I mean, you know, this is our hobby.
Well,
it's not our job. It's our hobby. So we both are busy in the real world.
We do treat it as a job. I mean,
we do.
We take it very seriously and enjoy it. I mean, I enjoy it.
Yeah.
So much. It's a nice.
It's
take
part of our
away from our day thing.
I know it's part of our personalities too.
Yeah.
To like just do something full out, like.
Why not?
Hey, it's a hobby. Let's full on do it.
Yeah. I mean, and learning so much as we go, of course, and meeting new people.
It's fun.
I love getting to know people when we have them as a guest and know things. I mean, we know them, not all of them. You haven't known everybody, and I haven't known everybody, but I'm just saying, getting to know something that we didn't know about them was really nice, and know what they do for the community and what they do, in life for themselves, for fun. So it's really fun.
Yeah, it's been good. I don't know. But other than work this week, I've been trying to recommit to my reading because I love to read. I mean, I literally have like 4 or 5 books going at once, and I told myself that I was going to read 125 books this year, and which is a stretch goal for me. I mean, I've read 100 books in a year before, but not, and 100 was hard. It was a couple of years. I think it was 2017 that I did that.
I don't think I've ever even read 125 books in my entire life.
And you would think that because of like all the quarantine stuff, I would have had all this time to read, but that's when I got even busier because I do digital marketing, and that's the only way people could communicate. So all of a sudden I had a whole bunch of new work, which was great. Yeah. And I'm not complaining about it, but I'm far behind on my reading. So I've been like making a concerted effort to push through some books. Like Amy was here last weekend and she saw all these books. She goes, "Is this your reading list for the week?" And I'm like, I wish.
I mean, I personally, if I was going to read the book, I'm an audiobook person. Yeah. So if I was to actually physically have a book, which if I did read, I want the physical book and not on a computer or a Kindle.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like literally on the side table, there's a stack like this tall. It's like, what the hell? How do you stop a book, change books, and get into another story?
Well, so they're not all fiction, right? Mm-hmm. So and I read. I listen to audiobooks. I read physical books, and then I also read books on my Kindle. And usually I save Kindle for like when I'm going to bed at night because I'll fall asleep reading, and that way I won't lose my place, or like I won't have to have a light on. But I'll usually have like a fiction book, and then the rest are nonfiction typically. And so it makes it easier. None of them are related, so just kind of like, I'm picking up a little bit here, I'm picking up a little bit there. I mean, I started writing down, I was like, what am I reading right now? I was like, oh shit, I'm reading 5 different books right now, which is a little bit nuts, but it kind of keeps me interested.
Well, you should let everybody know what your favorites are when you finish what you're doing.
Well, now I do in general, like, so on my Instagram, like I do, share when I finish a book that I like typically, and I'll kind of do a little summary of it. And then I also track all the books I read on Goodreads, which is like a social network for books. And so it helps me know how many books I've read, and like when I read them. A lot of times, like I'll start reading something, I'm like, have I read this before? And then I can go back to my Goodreads because I've been using it for years. Yeah. And say, oh yeah, I did. I read that like 4 years ago. So I kind of share it and track it all over. I am way behind. I mean, I haven't even posted personally on Instagram in over a month. So, which is just, if that tells you anything about where my headspace is lately.
So you're saying you've read, this brought something to my attention that over my vacation, everybody knows that I have tons of lipsticks. Okay. So my friend who was with me did not have any lipstick, and she's like, can I borrow some lipstick? And I'm thinking, well, sure, I have 1 million of them. Go for it. So I started getting in my thing, and I literally have 2 of the same exact lipsticks. I got both of them out because I was like, I'm going to wear one of this Charlotte Tilbury colors that I like. One that I knew they were very similar. I thought they were very similar. And they were not red, so I was trying nudes, and I get them out, and I was like, holy shit, I have the exact same one. One was brand new, and I was like, here, you can just have this. And she just bought it from me because it was like brand new.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I'm like, what's wrong with me?
No, I mean,
but it's kind of the same thing with the book. I mean, lipsticks, books.
I mean, at one point I did post this on like one of my stories or something. Like I had in that big stack of books that you saw on my table, 2 of the exact same book. And I was like, well, I clearly really want to read this book because I ordered it twice. And that actually happened again this week because I had pre-ordered a book and had just completely forgotten that I pre-ordered it. So I got it in the mail on the day it came out. But I also got like an email from my Audible account that the book was now available. So I bought it on Audible. So I had it as an Audible book and as a physical book because I'd forgotten that I'd done the pre-order.
What do you do with them when you're done?
They go on my bookshelf, or I pass them along to, like, I know other people that are readers, and and I've said this before, like, if you've seen something that I read and you want to read the book, let me know and you can have the book. Like, I don't want it back. Like my dad, I've sent my dad books before, and he sends them back to me. I'm like, stop sending them back to me.
You're running out of room.
Pay them forward. Like, let me be your, like,
you should put one of those little stands in front of your house that has.
If I liked people, I would certainly do that.
Emily, do not say that out loud?
I say it out loud all the time. I'm not a people person.
I know.
I think it's good for everybody to understand that. And for me to acknowledge that I know myself.
I love people.
I know you do. And I think that's really special.
That's what makes us good.
No, we are complete opposites in almost every way. And we still love each other.
Okay, so I wanted to share something on a side note.
Okay.
When I came back from my trip, I had a package. And if you were friends with me, you saw it on my personal stories on my Instagram. But I really wanted everyone to see this.
Yeah.
You're going to die. Because I had a girl, she lives in El Dorado, Arkansas, do a painting for me. And I love Dolly Parton. So I wanted to bring it in person to show you how fantastic.
It is so amazing.
Can you see this?
Did you send her a picture that you liked?
So, okay, I'm going to have to just share a picture later, but...
Oh, you can see it on camera. That looks good. Just hold it still.
I love leopard, and I didn't even tell her that.
Oh, so the picture didn't have Dolly Parton wearing leopard?
No.
Oh, wow.
So I sent her an old photo that I liked of her because I loved her hair. She chose the leopard, and I did tell her I wanted her to have a gold chain. I don't know if you can see the gold chain in it. But we wanted like floral and flowers. And so we went back and forth a couple times, more on the background, but she nailed it.
That's awesome.
And it's so even better in person. But her name is Ann Trimble. You can find her on Instagram at Ann Trimble. She's from El Dorado. She does have a website, AnnTrimble.com, I think. And I mean, I knew I liked her style of painting because I love art. I mean, I love to.
Yeah, you. I
do love art. Yeah. And was very reasonable priced. She shipped it overnight. It was home. It was great. Now I'm working on trying to figure out what the match is going to be. Like, I almost think I need a Johnny Cash or a Willie Nelson to, like, sit beside it. That's 24 by 24. Follow her. She's amazing.
Yeah.
She's one of the girls that works for me's friend in El Dorado, Arkansas. And she will do whatever you want. I mean, you come up with the idea, and she has a vision of what it's going to be. It's awesome. So I just really wanted to give her a shout out because she did a great job.
That's really cool.
Oh,
do you know where you're going to hang it?
No. I mean, we're still constantly redoing our house. And my goal when I'm able to actually start hanging art is I think I'm going to hire somebody to come in. I'm just going to lay all my art out because I do have a lot. And I don't think I'm going to have enough space for everything. So I want to just pay somebody. I'm going to lay out and say, these are my favorites. Here's the leftovers. Use what left over, and then I'm just going to, like, donate the rest or something. But I want to come in and, like, have it hung and just be like, oh, my God, I would have never thought of putting it there.
Because it's a lot of work to hang things.
Oh, if you would, if you moved any piece of art, there would be, like, 5 nail holes behind it. And it makes Matt crazy. But I love to do that. I like to decorate and everything, but to have somebody else do it for me, I think it'll be really fun. Yeah. So that is what my plan is. I'm going to follow through. That's something I really want to do.
Yeah.
And I have somebody in mind I want to call, but we'll see if they're available at the time. But I am excited about that. I'm ready to hang art. I love paintings, and I'm a sucker for an auction item painting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see it. I'm going to let Bunny out because she is so beside herself right now.
She's like, let me go eat some flies.
Come on.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So I came home from work yesterday.
Yes.
And Matt said, oh my God, June has gotten another turtle. I'm telling you, we have a turtle hunter.
We've talked about this before.
And it was a baby. It was this big. And he literally was almost in tears. My husband is really softy. But I think it's just because of the fact that she broke the shell, which I'm pretty sure it means you're going to die. And it was about this big. And he brought it in and put it in a box and gave it food. And I was like, I don't know what to do. And if you read about box turtles, you can't, you have to keep them within a mile of where they live, or if you disrupt their
habitat,
they will die. So by moving it in the front yard might have killed it anyway. But she's gonna get them, and I don't know what. I'm like, would she have eaten the whole thing? I don't know what she was doing.
Why do y'all have so many turtles in your
I don't
yard?
know. Never seen it before.
Y'all aren't near like water or anything.
No. Well, there is kind of a little creek somewhere. I don't, not too far, but far enough from these turtles. But she sure did, and it died yesterday. It died this morning. It was dead this morning. But it was really sad. I mean, I hate it when they try to go kill. I mean, I'm like, it's the nature of an animal, right? I mean,
I know. Well, Matthew found Bunny with a mouse in her mouth a couple of days ago. So, but we don't know if she killed her or just found it. You know, like she's not really a killer. I mean, maybe she is. I don't know. But
I think it's just their instinct. Yeah, it's really sad. Lucy's the rabbit killer. June's a turtle killer. Merle, I don't think he's a killer. He's a lover.
Bunny.
They're siblings.
Well, they are siblings, but I mean, Bunny might kill one of my other dogs. Might kill Biscuit if we let them in the same room. Like we have baby gates all over the house right now. That quarantine. It's like that's their quarantine divorce. Like you hear about all these people.
She's gonna have to live the rest of her life with these dogs separated. There's baby gates to keep. You cannot cross paths with these two, or it's like.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah, it's really kind of sad. And they're really sweet.
They're both super sweet.
I would love to be able to know why.
I know. I don't know.
Okay. Matt went camping today, so therefore I got to watch something on TV that.
Ooh, what'd you watch?
Probably.
I can't wait to hear.
Probably. I mean, well, he would definitely not want to watch this. I secretly wish I was a dancer.
Don't we all?
I mean, it's the most beautiful.
I don't ever want to be a singer. I would love to have been a dancer. I have no skills in that.
I would want to be a singer too, but I have a terrible voice. I would want to be a dancer,
singer.
I want to be everything.
You want to be anything on stage, let's be honest.
Basically. So the show was called, I have to look on my phone because I did write it down because I always forget the names of it's on Netflix, and it was, I don't know if it was a made for Netflix show or a movie.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
The World.
Is it with Liza Koshy?
Nope.
Oh no. Okay.
It is called High Strung Free Dance.
What is it? Is it a reality show?
Nope.
Like
it's a movie, and it's kind of cheap. I mean, it was not the best movie, but okay. The girl, the lead girl, is beautiful, and she's a dancer, obviously, and everybody in it, and it's basically these people trying out for Broadway, and I literally got teared up because at the end it showed the performance, and they were on Broadway, and I was just like, all I could think of is all the people, the Broadway stars that have missed out on performing. How is it going to be during COVID?
Yeah.
It made me really sad because at one point these people that have never been on Broadway on the movie, they go and they're looking at the empty stage, they're on stage and they're looking at the audience, and I was just like, oh my God. It's like, what are these actors doing? It made me really sad, and I liked the show. Mm-hmm. It's called High Strung Free Dance. I think the name is kind of terrible, actually.
That is terrible.
Like, I would never remember that. I mean, that's why I had to write it down.
Yeah, that's a terrible name, but I'll have to look for that.
Shut it down with just free dance or something.
I love dance movies. I mean, there hasn't been a dance movie in a long time, or maybe it just hasn't been targeted at me, so I haven't seen it.
Maybe you'll get targeted now.
First of all, I have to talk about the fact that I watched the movie Pump Up the Volume, which was one of my favorites.
Pump up the volume. Pump up the volume. Pump, pump. Is that good? Does that have Christian Slater in it?
It does. And so it was one of my favorite movies, like in high school. He's like he is a high school student, and
I know I've seen it.
Oh yeah.
But I can't remember.
And he uses like a radio and like goes on the airwaves and like just talks about stuff that's going on at his school, and like kind of like cracks open all this stuff, but he's this really shy, quiet person at school.
Like nobody knows how to catch him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's so good. And I just like, for some reason a few months ago I decided I really, really wanted to watch Pump Up the Volume again. And I'm going to tell you about this because it's kind of a pain in the ass because it's not available on streaming.
What?
Anywhere. You cannot buy it digitally. Anywhere.
Well, how in the world would you watch it?
I ordered a DVD that took over 2 weeks to get here, which tells me that it was probably pressed. Like they probably it's probably like an on-demand thing, like print on demand. I don't have a DVD player.
We do.
So, just in the course of changing all of our stuff, and so I bought like a DVD reader for my computer because I was like, well, that'd be good to have just in general, and it's, less than $100. And so I literally sat in my office and watched it on my computer one afternoon.
That? I mean, I would have never in a million years thought that you could not
get any movie.
Yes.
Yeah, it was not, and like, I mean, I'm telling you, if somebody has a different way of finding it, let me know, but I'm pretty good at the Google.
Yeah.
And I could not find it anywhere. So I had to
only Google.
I mean, it might as well be.
Yeah.
And
we should call it Ammo Google.
I laugh sometimes that like clients send me questions that could have easily been like I'm like, I don't know the answer.
Listen,
I go over to the Google and then I like send them the answer and I'm like, why are they paying me? I mean, I'm glad to take the money, but
yeah. I mean, I think I use Google more because probably not necessarily because of you, but I use it more when we're coming on here more to use for pronunciations of stuff.
Yeah.
Because there's been a couple of things that we
probably still mangle them.
Oh, probably. I mean, but anyway, I cannot believe that though. I would have that's like you trumped you just all the streaming you just.
I found the one thing that wasn't available, and I don't know why. And here's the thing, it holds up so well. That movie holds up well.
Who's the lead girl?
Okay.
Because I loved Gleaming the Cube, and when you're saying that, I'm thinking of Gleaming the Cube because I used to love skateboarders.
Oh, okay. So
skateboarders.
When I couldn't get my Pump Up the Volume fix, I streamed Gleaming the Cube, and it does not hold up as well.
Okay.
I mean, it's good, and I love Christian Slater, for all that he is, but it didn't satisfy my need for Pump Up the Volume, which in general held up because it's kind of like this. It was pre-internet, days, but it was kind of like the first, podcast, if you will, because he's like going on air every night and like talking about all this stuff, and people would tune in and like, get really anyway. So it was kind of, to me, it was kind of like the first. So just kind of like held up in the way that he was using.
It was also probably
media.
Like you couldn't tell who made the phone call. Like
you couldn't. So they had like the FCC like come in and like drive trucks around to try to triangulate his radio signal, and they were like tracing the calls, and he had the phone plugged into like his neighbor's house with like one of those like portable, like pull out the antenna phones. So it was pre all of that, but it was still really good.
I would not even have ever thought of that movie. I mean, but I love the fact that I need to watch it.
Yeah, well, you're gonna have to borrow my DVD.
Oh yeah, I do have a DVD. We actually, I did not think that we had a DVD player, and Matt corrected me, and we did, and we pulled it out during COVID because I used to collect a lot of DVDs.
I used to have so many.
I would buy only the girly, funny DVDs that you would want to watch again. Mm-hmm. Like I'm trying to think. The Sweetest Thing. Have you ever seen that?
Yes, but I didn't love The Sweetest Thing.
I loved it. And Something About Mary. I love Something About Mary.
Yeah.
I will say Something About Mary to me is one of Cameron Diaz's hair in that movie is a staple on the top of my hairdo list. I love it.
It's cute.
Still now to this day, I would say. Have you seen Cameron Diaz's hair in Something About Mary? For fine
the
hair.
only thing I think about when I think about her hair and Something About Mary.
Not that.
But that's the kind of the trademark from that. But that's funny. Yeah, like I did stuff like I did like all the Sandra Bullock movies and Julia Roberts, like Pretty Woman.
Yes, Julia Roberts.
And because I would put in DVDs like when I was in college and just have them played in the background when I was studying. Stuff.
That's how I am with Friends. I still to this day watch Friends all the time, just in the background. I did today when I was like getting ready. I was just like listening to Friends. I'll laugh just like out loud at some things. I think Lisa Kudrow, she's so funny. Like I used to feel like Monica, like she's my favorite. She and Ross, I think, are my favorite.
Lisa Kudrow,
Kudrow, and
so Phoebe and Ross.
Yeah, Phoebe and Ross.
God, Ross is really, he's pretty, his character was really funny.
Was great.
I think about the leather pants. I think about the white teeth. I think about the when they're karate.
When they're sleeping, when Monica and Chandler are sleeping together, and then they're trying to keep the secret, and it's like he jumps up and he's like sounds like a girl. It's just like I love it. It's really there's no ensemble that has been able to.
It's a classic.
Besides How I Met Your Mother, I do love.
I never watched How I Met Your Mother, but like I think Seinfeld was also really good.
Oh yeah, Seinfeld's good. But as far as like a comparison to me, you please think you have to buy it. It used to be on Netflix and it's not anymore. How I Met Your Mother.
Okay,
and I think it's more
Neil Patrick
funny.
Harris. Like, for some reason, I don't know why I never could get into it. Like,
he is hilarious.
Okay, I need to do
that. It takes
that.
a minute. Sometimes you have to give, and I feel like sometimes shows, when because they just cut them off so quickly. Like they cancel before you even get a chance, and sometimes it takes a minute.
Well, of course,
get into it.
And it takes a minute to get into it, but it also takes a minute for like the writers behind the scenes to mesh and the actors to mesh and like for everything to kind of come together.
If you watch the first season, I do not like the first season of Friends. Like it's my least favorite.
Yeah.
And especially the first couple episodes, I'm like, oh God, really? So if I watch, it's probably 3 on. Mm-hmm. But I love Schitt's Creek, which is hilarious.
Schitt's Creek. Oh my God.
But when I talk to clients and we're talking about shows or something, and everybody loves to talk about Schitt's Creek, and I'll have those people that say, well, I haven't gotten into it. I'm like, it took me a minute to get into that too.
Yeah.
Like it takes a second, but that cast is amazing. Mm-hmm. And I think somebody's up for a nomination for an Emmy for that, and I don't know exactly. I think it's the mom. I think it's Moira.
Okay. Catherine O'Hare.
Love her.
She's so good. Okay, so something you said made me think of, what was I thinking of? Oh, okay. So we're talking about TV shows, and I bet you've never watched this because it's a YouTube TV show, basically.
No.
But it's not a sitcom. So it's called Hot Ones. Have you ever watched Hot Ones on YouTube?
But I'll write it down.
Okay.
Got my notes.
Well, it's an interview show, okay? And so it's an interview show where where the host interviews these celebrities while they're eating progressively hotter hot wings. And so it's like there's 10 of them, and he is a...
Who's the guy?
His name is Sean Evans, and he is a fantastic interviewer. Like, he does all this research, and so he, has these questions, and he's eating with them, right? And
so he can take, like, has he probably like...
He's lots of practice.
He's like won all the hot eating contests, and he's like, I'm gonna stop.
But he's got lots of practice. But the thing is, the guests come in, and like, if they've never watched the show, they don't really know what to expect. They just think they're gonna be eating like these like progressively hotter wings, and then he asks them without fail. Every person he interviews goes, wow, how did you know that? You really did your research. Or at some point they'll be like, this is a really great interview. This isn't what I expected at all. I mean, like without fail, all of the guests
on set together.
Well, they are until this season. So this season they did it by Zoom. So like they would send them like the hot wings and everything, and they would dress them themselves. And even if they're like vegan, then they do their cauliflower or whatever. I mean, like there's always somebody that has. But the interviews they're 30 minutes, 25 minutes or so. Yeah. And they're so freaking good. Like, Amy, I think you would really enjoy it. And I don't like spicy foods. Like, I'm not a hot, spicy eater. But I love this show because, like, they just get, like, they start sweating.
I love that.
They start sweating and they're like, what did you say again? I'm sorry, and then, like, or they're, like, taking, like, huge sips and they're like,
like, where's the milk?
They're like, I'm going to need another napkin. One guy brought, like, ice cream on and was, like, using that. I mean, and he runs the gamut of people that he interviews. And what made me think about this is that he interviewed David from Schitt's Creek. So Dan Levy. And they did that during this COVID season. So they were remote. Mm-hmm. And
so do they send him?
They send him the sauces. Okay. Yeah.
So do you have to do your own sauce? Like you make whatever, but you're putting it in the sauce?
Well, you put the sauce on it before you eat it, and
I would be scared of that a little bit. Well, so I like hot stuff, but I'm totally terrified of habanero stuff.
These like get so hot. Like people that are like, oh yeah, I can handle hot and spicy, and then they're like, holy shit, and so that makes the interview that much more interesting because they get like so caught off guard that they're super honest, and so it's been really good. But one of the things that they've said is, when they're sending them the hot sauces for the like celebrities to dress them themselves, they put too much sauce on it, and Sean Evans like, this is y'all really taking your lives into your own hands, because when they do it on the show, like on set, it's already dressed and everything, and anyway, it's really good.
That kind of reminds me a little bit.
Highly recommend it.
Well, and not really, because it's not an interview process. But have you ever watched Drunk History?
Yes.
Well, the earlier ones to me are super funny.
Yeah.
I think the later they got a little bit not as funny.
Like cheesy,
too,
because people knew what to do or whatever, yeah.
But I mean, at the earlier Drunk History, and what was that on Comedy Central? I think maybe.
So.
There's nothing better than when you find somebody laughing and it's such a contagious laugh that you just laugh and you don't even know why they're laughing. You're just laughing because they're laughing because it's funny.
Yeah.
Like, I love that. I have a client like that, and I swear to you, she comes in and I will laugh so loud just because she's laughing loud. Yeah. And I mean, it makes me laugh and I love it. It's such a nice endorphin.
I know, especially release. Right now. Like, I just, like, I am so, like, greatly avoiding anything that is like sad or frustrating or depressing in any kind of way.
I don't watch the news.
Anything that's heavy. I'm so I am just so about
I tell people that all the time. I'm like, I
mean, we watch the news every morning, but I
quit watching in April.
Well,
which my news, I mean, I'm not a hardcore news person. I would watch the news every morning while getting ready. We watch the Today Show. So you make sure you watch at least the first 30 minutes so you get the topics.
All right. We've refreshed our drinks.
Refresh!
Because we're having a really good conversation and we needed a second drink.
I really like it.
Might be getting a little drunk. Deborah Reed, we approve.
We approve of your cocktail.
We approve. What's really funny, though, is that, okay, so Matthew... He always says that this reminds him of Deborah because that's what she's ordered. I have had 1,000 drinks with Deborah.
And she's never once.
I've never once heard of her ordering a sidecar. It's like wine or a martini.
Deborah, step it up and teach him these things.
So I don't know what's going on, but I need to have a conversation with her about it because
that's awesome. I love it. But it's really good. I will approve. Cheers. One more time.
Cheers one more time.
Okay. So, back to shows really quick. Mm-hmm. This show, when I tell people that we have seriously watched it so quickly, it's a little embarrassing because it is kind of cheesy, but it's so good. It's Cobra Kai.
Okay, I've heard other people talk about that. So tell me what it is because I've seen it pop up on Netflix, but I know it's Karate Kid based. But
so we watched there's 2 seasons available on Netflix. I think it originally aired maybe on YouTube TV maybe. Mm-hmm. I'm not 100% sure because it wasn't available for me for my streaming services. And Netflix just took it on, and so Netflix is going to do a season 3.
Okay.
But what makes it great, so if you were in that era and you've seen Karate Kid, the original Karate Kid, not Will Smith's kid.
Oh, yeah. I never saw Will Smith's kid. Was it Jaden or Willow?
Yeah, Jaden.
The boy or the girl?
The boy, I think.
Okay, Jaden.
Yeah. Which, side note. Or sidecar.
That's what we're going to start calling side notes. Sidecar.
Side note. So, don't remake a movie and it be... I mean, you cannot redo Karate Kid. Sorry, Will, about your child's movie.
I mean...
Same thing with Footloose. It was terrible.
I was about to say something about Footloose. Like, I didn't hate the remake. I mean, but I loved the original Footloose. And yes. I think it has to do with it's not about the people that watch the original version liking the remake. It's about exposing the story to a new audience.
I know. Because, I mean, if a kid watched the original... Honestly, if you watch the original Footloose right now and you watch how Kevin Bacon dances in the warehouse,
oh my God,
like, what the hell? It's so cheesy.
Yeah, it's so cheesy.
But it was so good. And
the red cowboy boots.
The red cowboy boots. I was about to say that. Okay, so Cobra Kai.
Back to the topic at hand.
Cobra Kai is present day, and I almost feel like it's a little bit on Johnny's story, which if for you that don't know, the story of Karate Kid is Daniel and Johnny's. Mm-hmm. They're enemies, okay? So Johnny's the bad guy.
He's the blonde.
That he was really cute. So we watched the original Karate Kid last night because we've finished. Yeah, we finished Cobra Kai. So I was like, let's.
Okay, so did Matt Hester watch Cobra Kai? Okay, so maybe Matthew Dean will watch it.
Oh yeah, Matt loved it too. So if you have never seen Karate Kid, you could still watch it because they will think back and they'll show references of why they're doing things, and it'll be because of what happened in high school. So like everything that they're doing is because of what happened, and it's them present day, so they're probably in. I mean, God, I think Karate Kid was made in '84. That's a long time ago. I mean, I was young.
I was 6.
I was a little older than you, but I still was. I think I was like 9.
Okay, so let me ask you this: it's different actors? So so Ralph Macchio and
Ralph
the original.
Macchio and the original Johnny is playing now.
So it's them, like what's happened after Karate Kid. It's like them in present day,
yes,
basically.
it's them in present day, and how
Now
their
that's
lives.
super interesting.
Yes, and how their lives. It basically is what happened then what has made their life the way it is currently.
Okay, now that's interesting.
And I feel like it gives me kind of chills. I love it. I mean, there's and honestly, it's different because it's not just a kids show. I mean, they're cussing and stuff. I mean, it's
okay, now I'm gonna have to watch that for sure.
Oh, found this out too. There is a girl that plays the daughter of Ralph Macchio. She's from Pine Bluff, Arkansas.
Really?
My hometown.
While you're looking that up, I still think that the best thing that Ralph Macchio ever did was My Cousin Vinny.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I loved Karate Kid, but My Cousin Vinny was so good.
How many other movies has he been in? Not very
Probably
many.
Not very many.
Because
back then you would get super typecast. I mean, I'm sure it happens now, but now people are so aware of it that they work to overcome it.
So
but
the girl, I just found this out last night because my friend Emily Davis, I was talking about Cobra Kai with her, and she watched it, and then she, I guess, looked it up, and she sent me the profile on the girl. Her name is Mary Mauser, American actress, and she is from Pine Bluff, Arkansas.
So, do you know her family?
My mother taught her in kindergarten.
I was gonna say there's got to be a connection
She's
somewhere.
24 years old.
That's awesome.
What the hell, Mom? Let's call this girl. We can have her on the conversations.
Ooh.
Connections.
Amy will make that connection.
I'm gonna try really
She
hard.
is not afraid to ask any of you to be on this show.
Yeah, I'm not. Anyway, I mean, but I really do like the show a lot, and it makes me want to take karate.
Oh, stop it. Okay, you know that I did.
Hey!
I did. I didn't get very far. What is it? I think I got to my yellow belt. Like it's like
this?
white and then yellow. It was post college, but pre moving to Little Rock. So I mean, I was like 22.
I'm not opposed
Listen,
to
if
it. I'm not opposed to it.
If there's something out there that offers lessons, I've probably taken them and bought all the gear.
I have probably taken all the craft lessons.
Well,
and
no,
bought all the stuff.
No, I've done that too. Like
Okay.
if it's a lesson in general, I don't care what it is.
If you didn't know, we did do tap dancing before COVID. We do have tap shoes.
We do.
I don't think I'm going to pick them back up though.
No, I think we talked about it on one show, maybe.
maybe.
I don't know, but yeah, I was trying to rearrange shoes in my closet a couple of weeks ago, and the tap shoes fell out, and I was like, huh.
That was good try.
I'll put those with the ballet shoes from the lessons I took 6 or 7 years ago. I mean,
Oh, and your mom said you were really good.
Well, now I took ballet as a kid.
I know,
yes,
your mom said you were good.
And then I went back to some lessons with one of our mutual friends. I mean, it's probably been 10 years at this point. I don't even know. And so I bought ballet shoes and all the gear again. We did that once.
So so please tell Matthew. Y'all should really watch it, and I really want you to get back to me on that because, well, one,
make a note.
Let's note that I think Ralph Macchio either has a wig on or he has a very large comb over because his part starts literally like...
Leave it to our stylist to...
Like over here, and it's very dark, so almost it's like either got filler in it. I just stare at it the whole time.
Well, I mean, if it's got a like deep
hair,
part, maybe it is a comb over because if it were a wig, they wouldn't need to do that. Yeah.
The reason I think it might be a wig is because sometimes you can tell with a male wig with a guy's wig, you can tell in the back, especially on camera, if it kind of sticks out a little bit. Like if the hairline sticks out just a tad, and you're like, okay, that's a wig. Anyway, that's just my little
little insight,
to figure it
little
out.
tip for you guys.
Okay, skipping the note. Do you watch Yellowstone?
Okay, I started the first episode.
That's one you have to keep watching.
And I know, because I have so many friends that watch it, and it's like on my list of things to watch, and I just haven't gotten to it yet. But I know it's good. I know I want to watch it. And I do love Kevin Costner, so.
My gosh. It is so good. I finished the last episode of season 3 last night.
Okay, is there 3 seasons?
Yes.
Okay, so I didn't get through the first
so
episode of the
good.
first season, but not because I didn't like it, but because I got distracted by something.
Well, when I first got it, when the first season came out, I got it and started playing on my phone, and I didn't get into it, and I let it sit because I had to buy it because you couldn't get it anywhere. It was on AMC, and it was not offered in any of my streaming services, so I paid $20-something for it. Anyway, after the fact, I kept hearing people talk about it more and more, and I ended up finishing it, and it's fantastic. Love it. Makes you want to go to Yellowstone or go just west.
Well,
really
and
bad.
I've been there, and actually Matthew and I even talked about it this weekend. I was like, I really just want to go back to Montana. Like,
I want to do a City Slickers girls trip.
Well, I don't know if I want to do that. Not because I wouldn't want to do it, but like, I mean, I don't know. I would want to do it, but maybe
I do it with y'all.
Yeah, like with
That'd be
like a
fun.
really small group.
Yeah.
Like,
I think that would be so fun.
Like, I would want to be very selective about.
You've seen City Slickers, right? That's
Oh,
an
God.
older movie too. I can reference lots of older movies that
City
are really
Slickers
fun.
and City Slickers too. They're both really good. Billy Crystal and yeah.
Billy Crystal's really funny, but it's just about the experience of
And
it.
like
It can
kind
be really
of
fun.
finding
Yeah.
yourself and
Yeah.
finding what's
It'd be
important
really
to
fun.
you and all that kind of stuff.
But Netflix. I'm skipping over to Netflix again. And have you seen the promo for the new Haunting of Hill House? Because it's getting close to October. And did you watch Haunting of Hill House? Shit.
That sounds scary, and I'm not into
so
scary.
Good, Emily. Oh my God, it's so good. Did you ever watch? I find ghost type, like that kind of thing, not as scary as jump out stuff. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like ghostly things. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe. Who's in it?
Elliot from E.T.
Going back.
Yeah, and there's a kid from Arkansas that's in it. Excuse me. There is a boy that plays one of his sons, and he's the older son, and he is from Little Rock, Arkansas.
Okay.
And I don't know his name, but I think his last name might be Singleton, maybe.
You probably know somebody that knows him.
Maybe we should get him on the show. But it's so good, and I don't know. I know from the preview I can see some of the actors from the first season because it's a different story. Mm-hmm. So it's gonna be possibly some of the same people, but in a different story and playing different characters, and it is so good. And I love that it comes out in October, and it's next month.
Do they put it all out at once, or do they like release episodes like weekly or whatever?
What is Netflix? It's on Netflix. Does Netflix
typically put everything out at once?
Yeah, okay.
I'm so mad at HBO.
I hate it.
It drives me crazy. It's like, get with the times, people. Like, get with the times.
Listen, when you have a spare, life is crazy now. So if you have a second to sit down and you have an extra 4 hours of your time and you want to watch something, you want to watch as much as you can of something that you like because the pickings are slim.
Exactly. Okay. Now, Apple TV's doing the same thing.
What?
Releasing one episode a week, which because they did that with the morning show, which I hope comes back. But you have Apple TV now. Mm-hmm. Have you watched Ted Lasso yet?
No.
I know I've talked to you about it.
Have you watched Dickinson?
Oh yeah, I watched that all at once. Like, that was so good.
Emily, that is so good.
It's really the music. I love it when they put modern music in old stuff because I don't love period stuff.
I don't either.
And that just kind of helps get through it. And that actress whose name is Haley Steinfeld.
Oh, she's great.
She's so good, and I loved all the Pitch Perfect movies, and of course she was in the sequels of those, and with Peggy Bundy as her mom, which I think is hilarious. Whose name I don't know in real life, but anyway, so Dickinson's really good. But you need to watch Ted Lasso.
That has I think I've been waiting. You told me this, and I've been waiting because Matt and I have a little bit of TV in common, like this much. And when I can find something that we can watch together, I will save it.
Okay, I think he'll like this because Matthew Dean loves it. Like they're really short episodes.
We love
Jason Sudeikis.
I love him. Like, I crush him.
You guys, I'm sure I've already said this on the podcast, but I love that show because it is so happy and uplifting. Like, I mean, like bad stuff happens.
What's it about?
So Jason Sudeikis plays a football coach, like American football coach that gets hired in England to be a soccer coach. Okay,
Football.
and which is fun. It's a funny premise on and of itself, but he brings his coach, like he's got a
the assistant coach,
like an assistant coach with him, and they have this really great rapport. I think the guy might be a writer with him or something. Like they're
Does he do it?
They're comedic partners in some way. And so Jason Sudeikis is the coach, and this other guy's the assistant coach, and they have this really great rapport that's just pure comedy. And then they get to this, this soccer team, and there's all these problems with the team, and the woman that owns the team. Did you watch Major League? Do you remember that movie?
Oh yeah.
And you remember how like the owner wanted them to lose?
Yeah.
It's a similar situation.
Oh,
okay.
So they like probably betting money because
And so she's gotten it. I mean, I'm not giving any kind of spoilers. Like she's won the team in the divorce from her husband, and her husband loves this team, and so now she's like trying to make the team lose.
Sabotage.
So she thought that hiring this football coach from America to teach the soccer team would propagate that. But he's just this like super likable, cheesy character, and just makes you happy. I mean, like it just makes you happy. Like there's nothing serious about it, but it's not comedy for comedy's sake, It's like feel good.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it other than that, but other than to say
we're not crying and
look forward to it every Friday night.
Oh, so it's still being, so they don't,
It's still one episode at a time, and they're not long. They're maybe 30 minutes, maybe.
Yeah.
And
why do
when
we do that? Why in this day and age
I know.
are we not releasing them all at one time?
I don't know, but then again, we do look
think-
forward to it every Friday night.
But do you think that it's because people are month to month on subscriptions, not prescriptions?
That could
And
be
because is Apple a subscription?
Apple TV. Yeah.
Okay, because I know
I've
HBO
actually-
is, because I know before HBO having better shows, because for a hot second, or actually for a long second, HBO only would have like one good show at a time.
Yeah, and then it would stop, and then the next one would start.
Or
yeah.
it would stop, and then you may not be into the next one, and you would wait an entire year for freaking Game of Thrones to come back on,
Yeah.
or Sex and the City, or whatever. And now, I think they're overlapping some of their shows, so you're not canceling your subscription.
I mean, it's definitely a marketing subscription tactic.
Yeah.
It's just really frustrating. Also,
Like, I don't watch any of the movies on HBO. Are you watching movies? I mean, I look forward to only their original shows.
here's the thing. Like, I actually have it on my to-do list to clean up my subscriptions because I think I'm paying for a lot of stuff twice.
Yeah.
Because you can subscribe like from HBO.
From HBO, Hulu,
You can
or whatever.
you can subscribe through Hulu. You can subscribe through Apple. You can subscribe through Amazon. You can subscribe through YouTube TV, and then also, oh, by the way, we're getting it free through our AT&T subscription. And I know I'm paying for it out of my Apple account, and we have it free over here. And then like Showtime, like I mean, it's ridiculous because Matthew pays for, like, just because of the way we have our house set up. Matthew pays for some things, I pay for some things. I'm like, we've got to clean this shit up because I bet we're spending $100 more a month than we should be.
Yes, I think some of the subscriptions make it really hard to find how to cancel. I had that trouble. I can't remember which one it was. I don't know. I was paying for something. I got the free trial, and I thought that maybe I would use it, and I didn't end up using it. And I'm like, but I ended up paying maybe 3 months at $50. I think it was YouTube TV, because we have Hulu Live. And then I was like, well, I'm going to try out YouTube TV and see if I like it better. And to be honest, I'm not even really watching YouTube TV. I primarily am watching Netflix and Amazon.
See,
now, currently.
Yeah, we do use YouTube TV because we watch MSNBC every morning during the week, and so we do, and Matthew watches a lot of sports. But I do think that Apple makes it easy to manage your subscriptions. Like, I know how to manage my subscriptions in Apple, but once things start getting subscribed to outside of that network, like I am super confused. And so like we have to pull all of that together.
So I don't understand. So we get HBO through Amazon, and then they went into like HBO Max, and I'm like, well, what's the difference in HBO Max? But you could only get HBO Max through Hulu.
See,
so that's where they're fucking people.
I know. I think it's super, super confusing. And yes, cheers, because they are fucking people. Sorry, Ellen.
So should I explain why we're saying Ellen?
No, long-time listeners will understand.
Okay. Because I told you I got another. Well,
you can explain it. Go ahead and explain it.
I'll explain it right now. And I've decided from now on, no explanation from here on out.
We're drawing the line, people. We'll need to have we'll add an FAQ to the website. Why do they say sorry, Ellen, every time they say fuck? Sorry, Ellen.
Anyway, my mother, I love her so much. And she does not approve of the F word. So she's texted me many times about saying the F word. But F word is my vocabulary. I don't have children, so I think it's because I can say it freely. And it just comes out in appropriate times.
Well,
It's not inappropriate. I use it in...
I mean, to counter that, so, like, I'm a stepmother, but Sophie lives with us full time, so I'm a mom.
Yeah.
But I still say it all the time.
Yeah.
But she doesn't yet. But, I mean, she's only lived with me since she was 7. She's 13 now, so maybe she was just, like, whatever. But I will tell the story. I don't think I told the story... I told you this story the other night, but I don't think I told it on the podcast about my soccer field situation.
Oh, no, I don't think you did.
I don't think I did. Yeah, so when I was in high school, I played soccer.
Which I cannot even imagine seeing you play soccer. I don't know why.
But I'm athletic.
You'd probably be really good.
I'm not good. I wasn't good. I mean,
Did you ever
I was on the varsity soccer team, but that doesn't...
Did you headbutt stuff? Like just go,
No, but here's the thing. When I started playing soccer...
Daniel's son played soccer.
This is going to get into a much longer story than Amy wishes that we would get into, I'm sure. There were not female soccer teams for high school when I started playing soccer. Like, we had to go petition the school board
Really?
and I'd never played soccer before, but I became friends with a girl who had, and which is a whole separate story. But anyway, so I became friends with a girl who had, and she was recruiting people to play soccer in high school. And so I was like, yeah, I'll play soccer. I've never played before. Can you teach me how to play? She's like, yes, but we've got to go petition the school board in order to get female athletics, like female soccer teams in the schools. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm a freshman in high school. So, like, I show up to the school board meeting and we, like, have this
amazing.
We have this whole conversation with the school board. Anyway, they ended up doing it. So we were the first female soccer team in high school.
To play?
We had enough players, but we didn't have enough teams in North Louisiana. So we ended up playing a bunch of teams in South Louisiana. And so I played soccer, but so I learned to play in high school. My brother had been playing since he was a little kid, and you know, because I'd been taking ballet. I mean, it was classic, whatever. Anyway, so I played soccer throughout high school. So all that to say, I played soccer. And on one of our games, I got red carded, which means I got kicked out of the game, like sidelined for the rest of the game. And I was on the opposite side of the field from the audience. I got red carded, and as I'm running across the field, I'm at that like halfway point. My mom, who's sitting on the sidelines, yells, "What'd you do?" And I said back, "I said shit." So nobody on the sidelines had actually heard me say it. Until that point, when I'd already gotten red card and I was running off, my mom looks around at everybody and she goes, "I taught her that."
I love it. I love that.
Anyway, all of that to say, I don't
story.
think that cussing is classist.
But that's because you got kicked out of the game because of one, like just saying that one word.
Yeah, I missed a goal. I said shit. The referee heard me and he took offense to it.
So I love the conversation. I think we should keep this going and do a part 2 in a little bit. What do you think? We've never done that before. We're
gonna keep you here for an hour with this conversation, so we'll take the second hour as a second episode. We're gonna do what HBO does that we hate.
Stay tuned.
And
second hour will probably be better because we'll be drunk. Right?
I mean, we're already kind of here.
Okay. Cheers. Farewell.
Farewell, my friends. Until
Cheers.
next time.
Tennessee.
Still never